So what can I say is the prototypes are nothing but, so no, you can't think that in other programming languages the object oriented thing and in the JavaScript the object oriented thing are one and the same. So these are very different. In the JavaScript how the object oriented mechanism works and all those things are very little bit of different. We cannot compare with the other programming languages. With other programming languages the inheritance concept and all those things are different. Now what I can say is prototypes are nothing but, what I can say, it's a mechanism or something like that in which the JavaScript objects inherits the features from one another. So one another it can inherit the features. It's very simple only. It's very simple. So you can't think more. Don't think something like an difficult something like that. It's a very simple concept only. Yesterday only we have seen about this one using the person and all those things. For example, let's say that I will try to tell you some of the things. Everything in a JavaScript is an object oriented only, object based only. So it's an object based. For example, let's say that I am having an array. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So this is an array. Say where a is equal to 1, 2, 3. So this one is an array. If you try to see array, this is an array. And if I try to add, this array has only the values nothing but 1, 2 and 3 only. So these are the only values which is having this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now if I try to use this push operator, okay, I'm able to push some value into this one. So this method is existing in this array, but array has only the values 1, 2 and 3 from where this push method has been came. So this one is coming from the prototype. Okay, if you try to see here in the A, here we are having 1, 2, 3 and 7, right? So this one is having a prototype. So here you will be able to see the prototype, right? So this one will be having a prototype. In this prototype you will have all these functions, okay, filter, find, index and all those things. These all functions will be having. In turn, for this prototype again we are having a prototype here. You will be able to see here prototype, and these all the things are another prototypes, and this is all the finish. That's it. So it doesn't have any prototypes here. So that means array is having one prototype, and in return this prototype is having another prototype inside this one. So this is one concept you need to understand. So for example, let's say that I am having where person. So this is a simple object which I am trying to create. Name is equal to Leela. So this is an object which I have created. If I try to print person, and here you will be able to see name Leela, and here we are able to see a prototype. Okay, in this prototype we are having the same things, right? So constructor has one property. These are all the things we are having. Now let's try to see about that array only. So A only, right? And if you see for this prototype, for this object prototype, this one and this prototype is one and the same or not. So here if you try to see here, so these are not same. The prototype has one properties, prototype, these are all the things we are having, and here we are having in turn find, index, like this we are having. But if you try to check this prototype, and these properties and these properties are one and the same only. Okay, these one and the same only. So this is nothing but an object property. Okay, this is nothing but an object property. Everything, for example, let's say that every object, if you take any object, so this is an object, this will inherit the object prototype. So here you'll be having name Leela. Okay, so this person, so this is a person, and here you will be having these all prototypes. ToString, let's try to take ToString. So now here I can check that person.ToString. So here this is an, we are able to get a string method person.ToString. So here I am having another one, person1 equal to, so here I will be having another object name Krishna. So name Krishna. So now if I try to check the person, so we are having it as a name Leela, and this one is having ToString and all those things. And if I try to check this person1, and this one will also have name Krishna and the same properties we are having, the prototype and all those things. In order to access this prototype, what you can do is, so the common method which will work in all the browsers is object.get prototype of person. So this is the thing. So here these are the methods which you are having in the prototypes. And let's try to check that object dot prototype of person is equal to object dot get prototype of person 1, which we are having a person 1. So both will be always same only. Why? Because the object property, so we are having a built-in object property which will extends all the objects which you are trying to create. Whether this person is an object, person is an object, and also person 1 is also an object. Both will extend the object property. That is nothing but a built-in object property. And here this object property and this object property are one and the same. So that means they are sharing the same memory location. So that is the one main concept you need to understand. They are sharing the same memory location. For example, let's say that I want to create person dot hello. So one method I will create. So person dot hello is equal to function, and this one will do something like console.log hello world. So this is the person. So now if I try to check person means, so we are having two properties, that is nothing but name and hello is a function, so which does some action, so which does something. So for example, if I try to do person dot hello means, it will tell you hello world. Fine. Now for the same person 1 also we are having the same thing, right? For this one also I want to use this hello only. So now person 1 dot hello, if I try to use this person 1 dot hello, it will tell that it does not exist. Why? Because we have written only for the person. So that means the same logic we need to return. We need to write it for this hello, for this one also. So function console.log hello, something like this. So now person has this name Leela and hello, okay, and person 1 also has this Krishna and hello. Now we are implementing the two different methodologies, so not two different methodologies. So two times we are duplicating the code and the memory leakage. So this one memory will take the so much memory. Now if I try to check that if person is equal to person 1 or not, both are not same. Okay, both are not same. For example, if you have person as name Leela, so for example, let's try to check that person 1 is also dot name is equal to Leela. Let's try to maintain it. So if both are same means, so if I try to check that person is equal to person 1 means, so both will not be same. Why? Because this will have a separate memory location and person 1 also has a separate memory location. But the implementation of this, both the person are one and the same only. Okay, so both the one and the same only. So instead of having this common type of functions, in order to share to all the objects, for example, tomorrow I will try to create another person 2. So here I will be having something like name is equal to some other X person. Now if I want to access this person 2 dot hello, so this will not be there. Why? Because I need to implement this one. So in order to overcome this one, these are all objects only. Now if you try to say these are all objects only, person 2, if I try to say these are all objects only. So these are all the person 1, person 2, these are all the, what I can say, objects will inherit from the parent, that is nothing but an object. So main object, so that is nothing but main object, this object. So in this one object, okay, so we cannot write object dot hello is equal to like this, we cannot write it. Why? Because this is an inbuilt one. Object dot hello is equal to function, we cannot write it this one. So you are trying to write for an object only, which will be available for only for the object. So now we need to have in a such a way that for an object we need to write prototype. In this one I will write hello is equal to function. I will write this function, and here I will be using console.log of hello. So now I am adding this hello function to the object prototype, so that this object prototype will be available to all these persons. So now if I try to press enter, so now if I try to check person.hello, then also you'll be able to get the output. Okay, actually this hello world means, so here we have mentioned this one, right? For the person also we have mentioned a separate hello function. So that is the reason this one is executing. So this one will be taken into the preference. Why? Because when you are calling person.hello, first it will check that whether a property is existing inside or not. If it is existing means this one will execute. If it doesn't exist means it will check in its object's prototype. So whether that function is available or not, then only it will execute. For example, let's say that person3 doesn't have this one. Person3 is not there or what? Okay, let's try to have person2 will be there. Okay, X person. Now person2 is there, and for this prototype, so we have written for the object prototype, we have written a hello function. Now let's try to call person2.hello. So now this time we will get an output. For example, let's say that person3 is there. So now there is no need for me to add all those things. So here I will write from my person. So now I can be assured that person3 also has this hello function. Okay, I will be getting hello also. Why? Because I have added this one in the object's prototype. So that is the main thing you need to understand. So this is the basic prototype concept. So now you may be getting a doubt that not getting a doubt. So now we will be having a 1 2 3 comma 4. Okay, so this is an array, and here we are having a prototype for this one. Okay, and we are having an array prototype for this one, and for this one also we are having another one is a nothing but an object prototype. In this object prototype you are having an hello function. Why? Because for this one we have added. And what are these all the things? Okay, so these are nothing but, what I can say is these are available for only for the array. Okay, for only for the array thing only. In return, array is again an object, so again it will be chaining with the object thing. So these type of objects, these are called as in constructor functions. Okay, these are constructor functions. So let's try to I will try to show you one scenario. Let's say that I am having a function get name or something like this. Okay, let's say that, let's open the JS bin. So constructor functions. So now we need to learn about the constructor functions. First you need to understand about the objects, so then afterwards we'll go about the constructor functions. So first what we have learned, so here we will be having an person equal to name and Leela. When I am using this one, so you need to understand that this is an object, this is a plain object. Okay, this is a plain object, and this person object will extend the built-in object. So there is nothing but a built-in object is nothing but object, this built-in object, and this object has a prototype, and you can mention your own methods into this one, so that every object which is created like this, so every object, so array or anything, every object, so it will be available, these methods will be available. So you want to check this prototype means, so how can you check that one? That is nothing but console.log object.get prototype of person. So you can check it like this. Now if you try to see the output, and this one is an object. For example, let's say that in some browsers some people will try to do something like this also. We can do like this also, person.__proto. This is also like they do, but most of the browsers will not support it. Some of the browsers will not support it, but all the browsers will support this one, object.get prototype of. So it's better to use that one only. I'm trying to show you this proto also. This also returns the same thing. So that means up to here we got an object, and for this one we want to see something like another proto. So if you want to check another proto means, for this one you will get a null. Okay, so person is an object, this one will extending the built-in object, and built-in object doesn't extend anything. So if you try to see the output, you will get a null. In the same scenario, for example, let's say that we are having an array 1 comma 2 comma 3, and here for this one let's try to say that arr.__proto. I want to check __ proto. So if you want to check this arr__ proto, so for this one, this prototype is array prototype. Okay, first one will be array prototype. So now you will get an object here. What happened here? So you are getting an object here. So now again I want to check another proto. So I want to check another proto for this one. So now you will get an object here. Previously we got for an object, we got null up to here. Now I want to, so this is an object, and again here I want to check another proto. So now this time you will get a null. So that means this one is extending two things. First one is an array prototype. Then afterwards it is extending the object prototype. Then afterwards you will get a null. So like this you can do the prototype chaining. This is called as a prototype chaining. So you can take object.get prototype of this one is an array prototype, and taking that one object.get prototype of up to here you will get an object, and here you will get a null. So now if you try to check here where ARR is equal to 1, 2, 3, and I am trying to check where ARR 1 is equal to 2, 3, 4. Both are different. Both are different. So if you try to check here, ARR is equal to ARR 1 means it will come false. So that is not a normal thing only. But if I want to check that ARR underscore proto is equal to ARR 1 dot proto or not, means it will come true. So both will come as true. Why? Because both are sharing the same array object. So there is nothing but an array prototype. So same memory location. So that means whenever I am using ARR.slice or anything, the properties which I am trying to use, those are created separately, so that the same memory location or the same reference location, the methods which was created, so those will be useful for all those things. Don't think that when you are creating an array, the slice property and all those things will be attached to this one to have a separate memory location. So both will not have a separate memory location. For example, let's say that I am having where person equal to name Leela. So this one will extend a prototype. So now if I try to check this one is equal to person or not, so it will never be equal. So false. So let's say that this proto is equal or not, then also it will be never be equal. So it will be false. But if I try to check here with dot proto, this one will be equal. Why? Because both will extend the object. So this one will get a true. So this is called as a prototype. So how the will share the same memory location. Arrays prototype is the array prototype, and array prototypes is the object prototype. Whereas for this object directly, this is an object prototype. So this is called as an basic prototypes and the prototype chaining. So these are all the main concept. This is the main concept which JavaScript implements the inheritance using the prototype. So this is how we will be implementing this prototype concept.